The views and opinions on this show are for entertainment purposes only. The only factual information is any story that has happened to AT2 or the parties involved. Other than that, go ahead and get you a drink, get you something to eat, just relax and enjoy the show. Let's have fun. All right, y'all, let's get real. What's up, everybody? I'm using the microphone right now, so put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me because I'm hearing 2 of me. For some reason, I'm hearing 2 of me in the ear. Let me sing for y'all before we start because I'm hearing 2 of me for some reason. Yeah, I'm hearing 2 of me, y'all. But what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming to another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. Yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Hey, it's my earpiece. Okay, no, I'm still hearing 2 of me. There is definitely 2 of me going on right now in my ear. Is anybody here? Hold on, let me check. What's up, Beauty for Ashes? Can you hear me? Do I sound okay? Because for some reason it sounds like 2 of me. Priscilla, can you hear me? It sounds like 2 of me. I just want to make sure. Yeah, there's like a delayed echo or something like that. Like I just want to make sure before I start talking. Okay, you can hear me okay? Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, somebody. All right. Thank you, finally. Okay, sounds fine. Okay, thank you. All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming. I appreciate y'all. What's up, Beauty for Ashes, Priscilla? I see Jayla. I see Sincere here. I know more of you gonna come later on, so I ain't tripping. But what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming. So today is Sunday, and it's morning, and we slept the night away. And I told you that I wasn't going to be doing any like live videos, but this morning I just felt something in my spirit, so I just kind of wanted to come on and just say something about it. It's mainly due to like the Adam22 with the no jumper thing, and then we got the Pearly situation going on with Just Pearly. I guess her name is really Hannah, but they call her Pearl or what. I don't give a damn. Her name is plain. That's what it should be because she is plain as hell. But anyway, I wanted to talk about, being black in the workspace because I didn't realize that a lot of the employees that these people had, well, I knew about Adam, that wasn't, but I wasn't too familiar with the Pearly girl or whatever because I didn't watch it, but she has black people on her staff. And it's sad to see like those black people are defending their ignorance, their bigotry, it's sad that, it reminds me, y'all remember Django, right? Y'all know this character that, I was gonna say Uncle Sam, Samuel L. Jackson played? That's what these black employees are acting like, and it's not just on YouTube or anything like that, it's literally thank you, Niqua, yeah, tell them to hit that like button, but it's literally like the you don't have to be a slave no more, and I'm really confused, and the way that Pearly and Adam22 are running their platforms, it's really slave-like almost, and especially Pearly because she ain't even paying her people. Well, she pays them, but she takes the majority of the money. Um, but we'll get into that. Yeah, like a Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, basically a Uncle Ruckus, and it's really sad. And I'm all like, "Yo, you guys have power to do what you want to on your own." So I know I love Django. I love that movie, but this is Black people fault though. Yes, this is our fault uh, because we allowed this to happen. And I think some people chase money, and what they do is I'd rather keep my money coming in than to speak my mind because who's gonna pay my bills if I don't follow what my slave master does? And they subscribe to this white supremacy thing, and it's all like, what is going on here? So I just kind of want to talk about it. When people don't recognize their worth, this is what happens. Yes, this is what happens all the time, and we do this in the real workforce. We do this. How many times? You talk to your coworkers and be like, "Yeah, this is some BS." We gonna come together and we gonna talk about this in the next staff meeting. The staff meeting comes around, everybody's quiet. And you're like, why everybody quiet? Like, I thought we were gonna talk about this. I thought we were gonna and it's like literally you have these situations in the workforce, and we're seeing it here playing on YouTube and these podcasts and stuff like that. You know, well, as much as I hate to admit it, it's like the NFL the Colin Kaepernick situation, you know? And how many people have benefited off of that, but Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. Let's talk about it, y'all. You know? And so let's go ahead and talk about the Adam 22 situation since we're most comfortable with that and we kind of know about that. So the Adam 22, as you know, he had that Richard Spencer guy on the panel. He didn't have no black people on there with him. They basically coddled him and cradled him. And it's just weird for Adam, who has a predominantly hip hop slash black people of color audience, that he would have this white supremacist dude because it doesn't even go with his brand. But with people like Adam, he just goes for the shock value. Why not have a controversial figure we can have on the show to draw up the ratings and stuff like that? And here's my thing. I get it. We play the game of, oh, it's YouTube. It's all about the clicks and the views and stuff like that. However, why would you have somebody like that on your platform? Like, for instance, these people will have those white supremacist guys like the Richard Spencer, the Nick Fuentes. What's up, Ricky? I'm glad you're here. They'll have the Richard Spencer, the Nick Fuentes, the Milo Yiannopoulos guy. They'll have these kind of people on their show. They won't have a Louis Farrakhan on their show. They won't have a Umar Johnson, even though Umar Johnson still ain't built that school. They won't have black controversial figures, but they'll have these white controversial figures. And I almost feel the reason why they have those controversial figures on their show is because I kind of agree with them. That's honestly what I feel like they have some of these like people on the show is because they agree and they subscribe to those things that they think. Like the whole I kept on saying homogeneous countries. Nick Fuentes is famous for saying that. If you have a country that's one race, aka the white race, that's what he was trying to allude to. If you have just one race of people, there won't be any crime or anything like that. But that's obviously a lie. You can look up statistics. Nick Fuentes also says he doesn't believe in race mixing, even though he's Mexican and Italian. But that goes on to another thing when you can assimilate into another culture and basically just be that one thing. That's a deeper conversation. I don't even want to get into that today. But you have these people that are okay with the eradication of a human race compared to people that just want to challenge the system. I've never heard Umar Johnson talk about he wanted all white people vanished off the face of the earth. I almost said the D word, vanished off the face of the earth. I've never heard him say that. Now, do I agree with everything he says? No, but I've never heard him say, I wish that there were no more white people on the face of the earth. I have never heard him say. Now, has he probably alluded to it? Yes, but I've never heard him say that words. But you have these controversial figures that they'll put on the show. What's up, Queen Barbara? They'll put these controversial figures, and I feel like the people like Pearly and the people like Adam22 want your. Oh, my mic sounds funny. Okay, hold on. All right. Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. I'll just go without the microphone. I just want to make sure before we continue. Dang, I hate that the microphone wasn't working. Maybe I need a new one. Okay, good. Okay, hopefully y'all was hearing what I was saying. Even though the mic was messing up, could y'all hear what I was saying though? Or should I repeat it? Damn it. Okay, good. But basically what I was saying was that the reason why they have these controversial figures on the show is because I feel like they subscribe to the stuff that they believe in. Um, for instance, I don't know how the Pearly chick got in kind of like the Kevin Samuels lane, but when Kevin Samuels passed away, she got in that lane. I don't know how the hell she got in that lane, but what she did was hire a whole bunch of color folks with her, and they were like her backup and the people that she would have on the show. For instance, Melanie King. Now, Melanie King has her own YouTube channel and stuff like that. I used to see her all the time, but then I stopped seeing her. But I guess she was on that show more than her own channel, right? So she will go on that platform and say things about Black women. And she's a Black woman, so she's allowed to say whatever she wants to. You can be critical of your own people. But for me, I would feel uncomfortable going on a white platform and talking badly about my people. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? Put a one in the chat if you agree with me. Like, I would feel shitty going on somebody's platform who is white and just bashing us. It's very Fox News-ish. You know what I mean? To go on that platform and just bash Black people, but I get, yeah, hey, it works for Candace Owens, so shit. But at least she making money. I don't think these people are making millions of dollars, and we'll get into how much they were making allegedly. But is it worth it? I don't think it is, but clout, fame is a hell of a drug. I think it's worse than the cocaine. You might as well just do the cocaine if you're gonna sell yourself out. And again, it's not necessarily a Democrat Republican kind of thing, because it's not really too much politics. It's that mindset of, I'm going to subscribe to something that's the detriment to my people. And we'll get further into that. It's a deeper conversation. But going back to Melanie, let me finish with Melanie. But Melanie would say, for instance, she was on the podcast and she was saying things like, oh, let me read Ricky comments. He said, I had the opportunity to go on Fox News and I declined. I make good money without bad mouthing our people for money. Yes. And Ricky talked about how on his channel, you guys can watch how he had a contract to actually, be on TikTok and just basically bash black people the whole time. Basically, he was supposed to be another version of Candace Owens, but he declined it. And it was actually his wife, who is white, who told him not to do it. So shout out to her, because she had the mindset like, Negro, you better not do I don't think she said Negro, but she had the mindset to say, like, you better not do that shit. But anyway, and so Melanie is saying like these things, these talking points, talking bad about black women on this lady's platform. And yet the white lady Pearly is not saying these things, right? But she doesn't challenge it. There's not somebody on there like, oh, let me give a different perspective. I'm moderating this debate. She's just letting her go on. And it's because like, yo, she agrees with this shit. She agrees with it. So then the clip that went viral, how I discovered the whole Pearly lady or whatever, right? Was that whole clip that went viral and Nick Fuentes, and he was talking to that girl and he was all like, yeah, the Italians don't want you. You're with a black guy, And let me tell you this. A lot of men who are not black are threatened by black men because we're just everything, Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. But we're everything. So I get it. However, he was saying like, trashing her, basically saying that she's trash. Nobody's ever going to want her and stuff like that because she's with a black man and the girl's Italian or whatever. He was like, the Italians don't want you. And so that clip got it went viral and it got a lot of backlash because literally the Pearly girl was on the podcast not saying nothing, just laughed at it and thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. And it's all like, well, damn, you're not even going to defend like your worker, like your panelists or nothing. You're just going to let them spew out this bullshit. And so the funny thing is the black dude that she's with actually works for Pearly. His name is King Riches, right? And so King Riches went on his on Pearly's platform. I mean, he has his own podcast and stuff like that, but it's a part of the whole Just Pearly network or whatever, right? And he was all like, oh, well, Nick says stuff like that. We know he's a racist. Like, who cares, And he was basically defending what Nick was saying and just pacifying it like whatever. No, Nick literally got on and disrespected you and your girl, and you have nothing to say, like you don't have any smoke for him. And then he goes on to defend Pearly, and they're like, no, this lady, I love this lady. She's the sweetest lady. He didn't say these words, but, she's the greatest woman ever. She gave me a job. This is her equipment. He did say this. This is her equipment. I wouldn't have this platform if it wasn't for her. And he's literally defending Pearly when everybody else is all like, hey, something is wrong with this situation. He's literally kissing her ass. Then there's this other black woman who's older. Her name is Aunt Jenny. And Aunt Jenny is literally defending Pearly and cussing people out. And, well, I shouldn't say cussing, arguing with people about how Jenny is a great woman and nobody controls what she says and she's not controlled by Pearly and all this stuff. And basically these people are paid for. But I would respect you if you were actually paid. These people are given crumbs. There's a YouTuber by the name of, I believe, it looks like Sarah, but I think it's Sarah. It's Sarah, right? I think that's how you say it. It's S-A-R-A. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, y'all. Sarah. I think. Just early thing. And I think it's Sarah. Is that how you say his damn name? Sarah, if you're watching this, I apologize if I said your name wrong. But yeah, so it's this dude, right? And so he was basically talking about how he was he wasn't with there. He was on like a guest appearance. He's shucking and driving, right, Jayla? He was on there by like guest appearance, and he would get paid per appearance and stuff like that, right? He talked about it. And so Just Pearly wanted him to do a weekly show, 5 days a week for like 7 hours, like an actual job, right? And so he was like, okay, well, what kind of compensation do I get at the end of the month? He was all like, oh, it'll be 70/30. He was all like, oh, so me 70%, and then what's up, Trevor? Thank you for coming. If me 70% and you 30, she was all like, no, I get 70%. Pearly, I get 70% and you get 30%. This sounds like some kind of colonialism shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get the short end of the stick. Like, this sounds like Haiti and France, how France got all their money and then Haiti is broke. Like, why would this man work 7 hours and only get 30% of a show that he is Garvey? Okay, Sarah Garvey. Thank you. I appreciate that, Deborah. So he's only going to get 30% and he's working the 8 hours and everything like that, or 7, 8 hours or whatever. And he's producing the content and you just reap all the benefits. Granted, okay, you have a name and she has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So, the platform and stuff like that. But 30, 70, hell, I wouldn't even take that. And I'm a nobody. Mind you, she told him, oh, you're on the higher end, so you get a bigger percentage. And he was like, well, what do the lower end people get? And he was all like, so Aunt Jenny and King Riches, they would be the lower end. What do they get? Y'all, guess what percentage they get? We're going to do a 30-second countdown, and y'all put what percentage you think the lower end people get from the Just Pearly network. 30 seconds, y'all. Let's go. You guys had it right, between 10 and 15%. So you telling me that lady is making about 80%, 80 to 85%, and y'all only getting 10 or 15? And maybe it's a lot depending on how much she gets, but nah, I'm sorry, y'all. It seems like all these people are getting paid crumbs, and they're basically, okay, so if we take Just Pearly, Adam22, if it was just their show, would they be as popular? Would they be able to market it? No. They literally need these other co-hosts. It's not like me. You'll see a guest on here from time to time, but everybody comes to see AT2. Nobody goes to see you, Otis, but everybody comes to see AT2. But the people that are the panelists and go on the show, they're coming to see those other people. So you're literally getting crumbs while this lady is raking in, maybe a couple of million per year. And that's not, let alone, when you're big like that, you're getting sponsorships. People want you to, do ad placement, a cup that you're using, it says Pepsi on it. Like, she's making money. And so for her just to give you guys those little crumbs and y'all take those little crumbs, you got to be out of here. And she got the nerve to put them under a contract. Oh my God. You better not ever put me on no damn contract for $500 a month. Get the fuck out of here. For $500 a month, you gonna give me a contract? No. And I better not have to write taxes on that damn $500 a month either. But what's up, Jack? Thank you for coming. But with Adam, I don't know the exact number, but I know the people like AD, T-Rail, House Phone, I know they weren't under a contract. The other people are under like the newer people, they're under contract. So I don't know how much they were making. But it was said the people that were under contract were making more than AD, the people that were there from the beginning. So just knowing that these people are giving you guys crumbs when you're on somebody's show, you literally are have a platform, right? And so you should do somebody's show, I would say, like maybe for like a couple of months or something like that. But you can literally just start a YouTube channel that's separate from what they're doing and do your own thing. Like, why would you sign a contract and basically whatever you make, they're taking? They're taking from that. And granted, it'd be one thing if when they were on Pearly's show, yeah, she's not gonna she'd give them like a little percentage or something like that. But no, these people have their own separate YouTube channel, and she's taking money from their YouTube channel. And y'all, these people don't know their worth. They're just happy with any attention that they're getting, and they think that this is okay. It's not okay at all. It's not. And so I have to question, going back to Adam22 and No Jumper, right? I have to question them and the black people on there and just the people of color in general. Now that they got kind of kicked to the curb and quote unquote mistreated or whatever, now they have a problem with him and the way he treated them and all that stuff, right? However, when people were already calling out Adam, y'all had nothing to say. Y'all defended this man. What's up, Just Curious? And so now we're supposed to feel bad for you because Adam kicked y'all to the curb and treated y'all like trash. This is what he's been doing. This is what he was supposed to do. Treat y'all like y'all wasn't shit. He was supposed to do that. And so now that he did it, you have a problem with it. No, you can't have a problem with it now. Like this is what he's been doing. And so, with that being said, it's hard for me to feel bad for those people because if you didn't say anything before and now you're trying to say something now that he did you dirty, this has always been him. And Adam even had a show, like, I think like 7 days ago where I seen a clip 7 days ago where he said like, he's basically doesn't want to do the controversial drama stuff anymore. He doesn't care about the views. It's just going to be a simple conversation and stuff like that. So basically, he's shying away from what his platform originally was. The trash stuff. That's what it's known for. It's not an intellectual conversation or anything like that. It's known for the trashy shit. It's like the Jerry Springer of podcasts. We're not looking at No Jumper trying to get information from it. Like, come on now. We ain't on there trying to get information or no knowledge or no shit like that. We want the ratchetness. That's what you're there for. That's what you should do. Stick to the dance that got you there. And so now he wants to switch it up. And so, don't be surprised if you see more of these controversial figures and stuff like that. Like I said, they'll have like the little supremacist on there, but they won't have like Louis Farrakhan or Dr. Umar Johnson or Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed, I have seen him on some, so I won't say him. But they play it safe. That's what I'm saying. They play it safe. So I want to revert this back to the workplace. So I remember before I had got fired from my job, this was in 2007. Not 2007. Shit, I was still in high school. 2017. There was a position in our corporate office that I applied for. I was actually recommended for, applied for it, everything. And I got to the final step. Now, the final step, they were going to evaluate all the people that applied and see like, okay, who can we take to our corporate office? Who can't we? So I got to that process. Now, what I didn't know is that the manager that I was talking to, mind you, he used to be the manager over in my department. Then he moved over to a different department, right? I was talking to him, telling him about how excited I was with the position. I was killing the interviews, I was rocking, and I was really excited because it was going to be something new, something that I've never done before, and it was going to be a step up that ladder, right? And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, AT2, you go for it. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you." So a week later, he pulls me into the office and he was all like, AT2, I just wanted to tell you, I know you've been excited for the position, but we had to deny you for it. And I was all like, oh, okay, I didn't get it, whatever, right? It's not like I think like I should get everything. No. He was all like, it honestly, you were great and everything, but it honestly came down to my decision. And I could not let you go over there. And I was all like, what? Like, you couldn't, like, huh? And he was all like, yeah, just based on your history, talking about from a year ago when he was over our department, there's just some things that I think you still need to work on. And I just don't know if you're ready for it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm all like, but you haven't been over my department or over me in a year. So how do you know how I am now versus then? He was like, well, I just talked to a few people and I just didn't and they said, you were doing all right, but I just didn't feel comfortable with trusting you to go over there to our corporate office. And so what I did was say, thank you for your time. I walked out of his office. And I remember all like, you know what? I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and I was all like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. And so that's what I did. I got the fuck up out of there. And I was all like, oh, I'm feeling sick. I'm going to go home. And so that's what I did. I used my sick time, took my ass home. The next day, I come back to work, and they were mad at me because I walked out. Well, I didn't walk out. I used my sick time. I used my California law. You can use your sick time, right? So they had this whole meeting with me the next day about how I shouldn't have walked out and, I should have, had some integrity and all. Try to give me this whole speech and shit like that, right? Then they try to say, oh, your attendance is a little, shaky and stuff like that. So we had to write you up for your attendance. Now I shouldn't have signed that shit, but I signed it. Fast forward 2 months later, my ass was fired. Went from trying to work the corporate to my ass was fired within 2 months. And and I know some of you guys are like, okay, what does this have to do with race? Now, a lot of times the Black people in the chat, they can agree with me, right? That whenever we try to go for a position, a higher position and stuff like that, we're never good enough. Our other counterparts can be mediocre, but we have to be substantial. We have to be, the creme de la creme. We have to be so perfect. We cannot have any mistakes. Did I think I was a perfect employee? No, obviously not. But you always have to be perfect in the workplace. You cannot have any marks on you. And it is so sad. And like I put it in the description, I'm pretty sure other people of color, women, disabled people, they go through the same thing, right? But I'm Black, so I can only talk from my experience, right? So, with that being said, there's been other times, and this was just the one that led to me getting fired, but there's other examples. But every time you apply for a position, it's all like, oh, well, there's still some stuff that you need to work on. And literally, you can have the same numbers as somebody else. And this will be like, oh, well, this is why there's this whole conversation about affirmative action, making sure the quota to make sure there's minorities in college, and they're trying to take that away because it feels like it discriminates against white people and it discriminates against Asians. But you guys can Google this, and I want you to Google this. The biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action, do y'all know who it is? I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds to let me know who are the biggest not recipients, that's the wrong word, but who benefits more from affirmative actions. Not talking about the legacy and stuff, like your family members went there or they bought you into college. I'm talking about who benefits from affirmative action. It might shock you. 30 seconds. Yes, white women. See, y'all already knew white women. And so they're trying to say that all these color folks are stopping Asians and stopping, and it's only a certain sector of Asians because not all Asians are created equal, as I know, because I have friends who are Asian. And then stopping the white kids from coming into college. That is a lie that the color people are stopping them. And what they're basically saying is that these dumb people of color are getting into these schools and they're discriminated against all the white people that are smarter and more educated than them. And that is not true. Affirmative action might give them a little boost, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't have the grades, that they didn't, score high on the test. That doesn't mean anything. They basically use that affirmative action thing and basically try to say like, oh well, I didn't get into this college because of affirmative action and all that. No, that has nothing to do with it. If a black person and you have the same scores, then if it's affirmative action, then they might get in, but that doesn't guarantee them getting in over you. And remember, affirmative action is also a quota. So if they already have enough black people and they don't have and they already met their quota, that doesn't mean that they're going to take that black person. You still might get it. So what I'm saying is that some people don't even know how things work and how stuff benefits them. It's kind of like, let's go here with that too as well. Government assistance, welfare. It's always all like, growing up like, oh, black people are on welfare, food stamps and all this stuff. But the highest beneficiary of welfare, social welfare programs are white people. Like there's no system that's built for the color folks where they take advantage more than white people do. And so people use those talking points to try to make it seem like you're nothing or you're below and that you're giving handouts and stuff like that. But if the white people don't benefit from the handouts, your ass ain't getting no handout. That's why we still fighting for our reparations, by the way. But if you would like to send me some reparations, go ahead and hit the Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or send a super chat, super sticker. What's up, Naughty Love? Thank you for coming. But it's like those little talking points about welfare, affirmative action. Those are just things that they try to throw in your face to make you seem less than, or, what are you complaining about? You get everything. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them fool you with that bullshit. It's just talking points that they come up with. But yeah, so it's little things like that, right? Not little things, big things, actually. And so, there was I wasn't going to tell the story, but I'm gonna finish off with this story right here, right? Here's who benefited from affirmative action. Right, Toya, Clarence Thomas, right? Excuse me, right. So I'm gonna finish off with this story because this is how you know. And there's always this conversation like, if you were another race, would you want to trade places with a black person or something like that, right? And usually people say no, or they try to skirt around the question, right? My son went to a college and obtained 2 degrees in his field. A man from another city offered him a job with a non-compete clause to never open another martial arts business anywhere near his. Oh wow. Wow. So he tried to put a non-compete clause in there. I'm like, no, you can't open up no other. See, these contracts, they be dirty. And thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. My son declined. We're urban, and the man came from a predominantly white city and opened shops in all cities close by. My son realized a couple of years later he was a $600 an hour earning capability. He has a $600 an hour. Wow, damn. He took that option. See, and thank you so much for Salah. I appreciate that too as well. But yeah, you got to know your worth. You really have to know your worth. Historically, black people, we are working people. Actually, it was a disgrace to be on relief. Right, exactly. It was a disgrace. Black people are notoriously worked several jobs to make ends meet before they would consider welfare. Exactly, exactly. Thank you. And that's the thing too. And so like I come from a home where both parents worked. Like my mom, my dad, stepmom, everybody worked. I've never came from a system where everybody got welfare. I actually don't know too many people that have welfare. The only welfare I can think of is low income housing. But does low income housing counts as welfare? I don't know if that counts as welfare, but I think it kind of does, but not really. But that's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know anyone on actual welfare. You know what I mean? This whole system is effed. So much chaos. Every race going at each other instead of working together. Right, right, right. Hell, there is chaos within their own exactly within the own community. Right. Let me feel like I missed some people. Thank you. Okay, I'm too far behind. Okay, never mind. If you guys said something good, I'll go back and read it. But general relief and food stamps is welfare. Okay. No, it's housing that goes by your income. Okay, okay, so that doesn't count. Okay, got you. But anyway, going back to what I was stating. So the whole, I wouldn't want to trade places with a black person. I wouldn't want to be black thing. This is how I kind of knew it. And yes, I'll admit this. I did not check the lady when she said this. I was just in shock. Um, and it's not funny either, but it's funny. Now, fast forward to now, right? Um, So we were talking about how the job, and I'm talking to another white lady, right? Well, it's three of us. It's me and then two other white people, and we're just talking about the job and how it's bullshit and they mistreating us and all this stuff, right? And so the lady was all like, "Yeah, I almost had to tell manager blah blah blah. Yeah, don't treat me like I'm your little nigger." Like, I was like. This is the white lady saying this, right? And she about 50 something years old. So she know not to say that word, right? So she was like, yeah, and I almost told manager so and so, don't treat me. And she did this with her little hands too. Like she was like, don't treat me like your little nigger. And like I was like, and then she like walked away. And like I was like like, mind you, this is when I worked in the Valley and worked in the Central Valley. This is why I talk about the Valley, that Tracy, Manteca, Stockton, Modesto, that area. I talk trash about them because them motherfuckers is ignorant. I don't know if y'all know, but the Central Valley in California has the highest hate group numbers. And a lot of those hate groups are in that Central Valley. And I understand that now. But anyway, moving forward, and it just shocked me because I'm all like, wow. So are you saying that it's okay to treat me like the little nigger? And then, but it's not okay to treat your white ass like the little nigger? Like, I was all like, wow. Wow. And it now today, if she would have said it, oh, she would have got checked real quick. But at the time, I felt like I had to play the game. And because, like, yeah, there were some black coworkers I told about it, but we didn't go to management or anything like that because they probably just would have been like, okay, whatever. Like they really wouldn't have cared. You know what I mean? They would have been like, oh, okay, well, maybe she didn't mean it like that. It just would have been water under the bridge. And so when you're at work, you think about, oh, well, I can't respond how I would in the street. And so now I know my worth. And this is why I have that battle with like, okay, should I go back into the workforce or should I continue to make this shit work for me, this whole social media thing work for me? And I have chosen to make the whole social media shit work for me, but sometimes I have that internal battle with myself on whether or not I if it's worth it. It's just for me. What do you mean? Like around Van Nuys, there are hate groups. Please elaborate. Yeah, like all the King, all that shit. Yeah, there's a lot of and different hate groups, but hate groups like that. That's what I mean by hate groups. You know, the 3Ks and all that. They have a high concentration in the Central Valley, but California has the most. Maybe because we have the most population, which is shocking. Because you would think that it would be Florida, like what's that northern part called in Florida? But that's where like the headquarters of the KKK is in northern Florida. It's they call it the Panhandle in Florida. Is that what it's called, y'all? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I thought like that was like the most like hate group area, but I guess it's actually the Panhandle. Okay, I was right. Yeah, the Panhandle. Yeah, like that's where the headquarters and the leader is and all that shit. Like people were telling me like 82, if you come to Florida, don't go to that part. Like stay away from there. So yeah, it's crazy thinking about it. But I also wanted to talk about how, you know, you have other Black employees there. Now, when I started working in the Bay Area, it was a lot better. Like there was like a little bit of camaraderie, not all the time, but it was a little bit more. But working in the Central Valley, a lot of times the Black people would be in competition with each other, and it's all like I'm gonna look out for myself rather than look out for you. And it basically got to the point where it can't be two of us, it can only be one of us. But who created that rule where it can't be multiple successful Black people? I feel like we created that rule. I don't even think they put that on us. Now, internally, they may be like that, but I don't even think they put that on us. I think we put that on us where it can only be one of us. And it was really sad working at that job and feeling like I was alone, but then feeling like maybe I did have some people that I related to, but it was more of on a friendship level, but not like a deep kind of thing, you know, crabs in a barrel. Thank you, Priscilla. Crabs in a barrel. Right. I didn't have that deep relationship that I thought we had and could relate to. It was more like you're my competition. And so it's a lot of things that I think about, and this kind of had me thinking, like in the workplace, how shit goes down and we don't say anything about it. We just let it ride. Sometimes we'll even defend the bullshit to the detriment of ourselves. And so I'm like, man, like, come on, we gotta get it together. You know, hopefully, I know a lot of people work from home. There's some people that went back to working in the office, but I'm hoping that the camaraderie at work is a little bit better. But I have a feeling that it's not. I have a feeling that it's still bullshit. And mind you, um, no, that's a lie because I didn't go back to that job, but I went back to, you know, kind of worked and stuff like that here and there sporadically. But I wasn't there long enough to know how the workforce is now. I just hope there's more camaraderie going on than what it was before. Because now, you know, after the pandemic, I think a lot of people were all like, I ain't taking no bullshit. Like, I'm speaking up for myself, you know, where before we were all like, oh, no, you know, oh, it's okay. You know, we just kind of ignored it. But now I hope people are speaking up and knowing their worth. People, and a lot of you guys said it in the comments, people do not know their worth and they need to know it. And I hope watching this video, y'all know y'all worth. Now, if you end up quitting your job or you get fired, don't come for me for any money. Shit, don't come this way for any money. But I hope at least that this video was a little inspiring. And I just also want to let you know, if y'all went through bullshit at work, y'all are not alone. I am here for you. I know how it is. I know we go to these jobs and we got to play a game. We got to put on a face. We have to assimilate or even code switch at times to survive. I hate it, but it's how it's been, you know. Yep, I remember when I started at aerospace years ago, and it was three Blacks. We're talking to each other. Someone white called and walked by and say, "Oh, what?" Spook alert. It was an accepted practice. Wow, that is crazy. Sell your skills, not your soul. Ooh, right, Trevor, right. AT2, that's one of the first things you taught me. Know my worth in these YouTube streets. Yes, you have to. You have to. Yes, I hate it too. Jack. Jack, I can't put your comment up there. Don't go to Central Florida. Like, oh, okay. Stay away from there. Okay. The token rule, right? Exactly. All skin folk and kin folk, right? Any person of color in the workforce who is articulate and average intelligence, no matter where they reside, will be viewed a threat by exactly by ignorant people. You're right. You're right. Exactly. Tiffany, thank you for coming. 82, you're not missing out on anything in the workplace. They drain you all right. The work life balance is still bullshit going on about that. You are worth more. Thank you. Don't get back on the hamster wheel. Yeah, that's the thing too. Once you get back on the hamster wheel, you cannot get out. Ronk said, no, the West Coast is racist in general. I feel like everywhere is like, I can't compare it, but I feel like everywhere would be, let me just see. Nico said, my mom was a single parent with 4 kids. She was a teacher who worked at a meat factory in the summer, no relief. Wow. Shout out to your mom. Rock said the same dude was Mexican who said the N word, and oh, he wanted to beat his ass. See, if you weren't at work, you probably would have, right? My job just laid off a bunch of people, and I'm doing 3 jobs of people, and they're working you hard. And I bet you didn't get a raise or nothing. They're just all like, you should be happy that we kept you, right? Exactly. They do the same bullshit. We've come a long ways, especially for us Black engineers. Shout out to all the Black engineers out there. Yeah, shout out to her mom. Exactly. Oh, okay, Rock. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the heck up out of here. I will have a pre-record video for you guys, but I won't have another live. This kind of just inspired me this morning. As you know, guys know, I'm a huge wrestling fan. It's WrestleMania weekend. Night 1 was epic, so night 2 is gonna be amazing. So you know I'm gonna be busy, but you know, DM me. I'll chat with you guys later. I love every single one of y'all. Thank you for the super chat. If anybody cash out, PayPal, Venmo, I will thank you later. But I love all of y'all. But we out. Deuces, y'all.